Hi, Carl here. Today just an update on the maples here in the UK and have they developed their full colours yet. So start straight away with Dissectum Firecracker. Been a lovely tree all year with a sort of darker tone of red that looks fantastic, and the red's lasted all summer. Brilliant to look at, but if you wonder why it's called Firecracker, as I did when I bought it, then some of these trees do reveal their nature. So in this way you can see these brilliant red colours that have come through. Definitely worth checking regularly in your garden at this time of year, because in a pot like this has changed colour. It seems like overnight since I looked at it a couple of days ago even. So worth going out, checking and grabbing some shots and some video when you can. So here we are at Batsford Arboretum in the Midlands in the UK. About 40 miles south of myself. Lovely day out. Quite a nice little journey really. And we've got an Atropperum Dissectum here. Absolutely amazing. As you can see, full colours developing quite well. Not quite there yet, but many of these trees are great because you can actually get inside them. And as you can see, the way that the branches contort and go in all different directions is really, really entertaining. So, like many trees out and about, this is an Atropperum, which simply means that in actual fact, it's not a particular cultivar. It's not Tamuki Armour, it's not Garnet or something like that, which is a known Dissectum type, but rather a kind of generic seedling or whatever. But what's not to like? It looks absolutely fantastic, and I certainly wouldn't not buy something because of its generic nature. So I visited one or two places recently in the UK, and it's absolutely the case that these trees are changing colour at least 2 to 3 weeks later this year. It's quite remarkable how seasons can change, and it's made such an enormous difference. I mean, these are ready to change, we can see that, and some leaves are changing already, and this is a very good marker to say that I need to go and revisit this particular place very soon, because I think it's going to be a year where, because it's the summer season's gone on for so long, I think the cold weather is coming and the leaves will change colour quite quickly, and then because of potential winds and because of bad weather for the winter, a lot of these leaves could get blown away. So I think this year it's definitely, go back there soon, go back there often to sort of see and capture those lovely colours. So moving on here to an old favourite really. And this Sangukaku is about the same age as me, slightly older. So a lovely tree. You can clearly see some sort of autumnal looking orange colour here, but a lot of that's sort of come from the fact it's in a good sunny location, and that sort of brought things forwards. But overall this is more advanced. So another lesson, as I said before, these trees don't all change at the same rate, so they will vary. Just to note, this year as well, it's been incredibly damp and sort of overcast here in the UK, and the trees are all covered in sort of lichen and moss and stuff like that. So it's actually rather impressive and has enhanced them. It won't do them any harm, but it's sort of added to the look of the older trees at least anyway, and give them some character, which is lovely. But as we look here up to this Sangukaku, magnificent tree. Really nice habit. It sort of grows upwards from these central stems really. So it's the classic upturned vase shape that I kind of really enjoy. And again, going to these type of places, you can see how your trees will be in years to come, and then kind of get inside them as well and look from the inside. So all very rewarding. So a little variety here, a little dwarf variety that I've come back to a couple of times over the years. Really nice little fellow. It's sort of a very, very miniature, low-level tree that spreads like this. And it's looking good. It's not quite in the sort of fullness of the full colours yet. But as you can see from the inside, there are still some green leaves, which kind of tells me that it's got a bit to go yet, really. So Sina Gashi is a tree I really want. You can just start to see one or two red leaves there that have gone a sort of deep red colour. Again, very behind this year, but it's you get to know certain trees that you love and go back to year after year, and this is certainly one of them. I almost left this arboretum a few years ago and turned around to see this sort of glow of red embers almost. It looked most unbelievable. And there we are from a previous year there. That's what it can look like. So once again, hoping to go back soon to kind of capture those fuller colours. But you can just see, it's starting to get there. Things are starting to happen. So not too long now, really. So this is now some of the Crimson Queens at Westonbirt. Again, fantastic arboretum in South Gloucestershire in the UK. And they're looking lovely. You can just start to see some colour changes. But my Crimson Queen is far, far more advanced than this. So why? I mean, I'm not that far away. I'm only 80 miles north of this location. But mine are in pots. So again, please leave a comment if you agree or disagree with this. But my hunch is that if trees are in pots, they're certainly more likely to change earlier, because their sort of root systems aren't so big and they're sort of not quite as brave as these fellas here, really. And just to say that, working on that theory, this is a tree I found in a garden centre, and it's so much more advanced than the trees in the ground. I personally suspect, and I'm no scientist, that with Acers, they're less reliant on the change in light levels than other trees, because they're supposed to live under the shade of other trees anyway, and probably much more reactive in the winter to temperature changes. So again, because it's been so mild this summer in the UK, things haven't changed yet, but if we get a cold snap, I'm sure they will. So finding really nice examples of Acers in their fall colours is sort of thin pickings at the moment. But here was a little lesson at Westonbirt that it's really worth checking both sides of a tree. So from the other side, nothing really special is happening, but some of these leaves are absolutely gorgeous on this side of the tree. So it seems to be a bit more weather dependent than it usually is. But as you can see, they've been affected in quite a beautiful way. It's also worth looking, if you're looking for Acers, at the leaf litter on the ground. You see there's quite a lot there, so this is another indication that things are more advanced with this tree. And there's quite a few Acontifoliums, including my own, that have definitely changed colour much earlier. Once again, lovely examples of lichen and moss on the trees. This is actually under the story for the trees. It's a very good position for maples. And I suppose, that's probably why they're quite tolerant to moss and things growing upon them, because they're going to stay pretty damp, I guess. But just lovely, and a lovely type of tree. So I just wanted to share this Shiraz with you. I have sort of photographed this before, but I'm just amazed right at the end of the season how beautifully pink this has stayed. The coloration's fantastic. And also the fact that this is in an exposed position in full sun. So overall, really, really impressive. As you can see, it's not a huge tree. It's many years old, but hasn't grown to crazy proportions. But just a really nice example of how the sort of almost the spring colours, the pinks, etc., have endured and lasted really, really well. As opposed to other trees, which, depending on conditions, might go to a green or may go to more red colours, depending on what's happened. So we have a situation where things are quite delayed in the UK, but Asakazuki and Kalani and some of the other best ones are coming.